Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my videos. Today we're going to talk about AI. And it's been quite the discussion lately. I sometimes follow like art drama, and one of the biggest art dramas that if you guys do follow art drama, then you probably already know, but Ross Strauss was accused of using AI in his art. I believe he has also acknowledged his use of AI and how he's used AI. Again, I'm not going to go too deep into that discussion because there's a lot of other channels that go into that discussion about Ross Strauss using AI in his art. But kind of the reason I wanted to bring it up, because back when initially this was a deal with AI making art, I think it has gone a step up since, and it's gotten, I would say, I don't know how to say it. It's cool in essence, but it's also in essence gotten worse. And I'll kind of tell y'all why I think it's gotten worse. So AI in essence can replace artists, and not just in one form. I think in other forms it may also replace artists as well, which is kind of really sad. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was brought to the attention that apparently if you create lyrics to a song, that AI will take that song and create a whole song for you, played as if like someone had a band and played it for you. And I mean, as wild and as cool as that might sound, that is not good, because then you're taking out the human essence of music. So I can play a little bit of this music for you. And basically the lyrics were created and brought through AI, and AI created this song.
Well, I came home hungry, belly aching. Thought maybe you'd be in the kitchen baking, or just slapping some ham between some bread. But you just sat there, shook your head. January, why'd you let me start? Left me hanging with an empty heart.
This song was created as a joke, and all the ownership will be tagged to that video. This is kind of uncanny valley, guys. Kind of odd. I'm not going to play the entire thing, but it is kind of odd. I don't know how to feel about that. Another thing I noticed about AI, and this part actually is kind of cool. I'm going to be honest. This was brought to my attention. So apparently there was an artist that basically took a picture of something they drew, of a character they drew, put it through AI, and the AI did a 360 of this character. So you're telling me AI can basically take your character and make it three-dimensional. Now, honestly, this might be worthwhile. I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, I don't know. I mean, it to me doesn't seem like as much as if it were stealing. To me, this is more, I'm going to complete your thought. And honestly, I think this is where AI could excel, especially if you're trying to create video game characters or you're trying to create live 2D characters similar to this. Like, yes, there's a lot of time and effort put into these characters, but if I didn't have to create the backside of Gladius, for instance, I could already have a three-dimensional Gladius. That to me might be quite useful and actually less time consuming than a lot of other, you could go into the next project and create the next person or whatever, and that might actually be worthwhile. The only downside to this is because it takes less effort to create such three-dimensional characters, that, well, maybe it isn't valued as much. And at that point, I mean, then your art may not be as valuable. Now, this is just a 360 glance at what a character looks like or could look like put through AI. However, I don't know how widely used it is yet. I mean, I'm not in the know yet, but it's possible that AI could create this for you and you wouldn't have to do a thing and you already have a video game character. How fascinating is that? So I have seen the flip side of this argument, and the argument is, well, put it through Blender. Learn how to use three-dimensional Blender. Yes, that is something that an artist could do, would be to use Blender, and Blender artists especially would be really, really upset. I don't know. I guess I feel in between, and I'm going to be honest. I think it could make useful of certain things like making three-dimensional characters that take a long time and are tedious work. And that is what technology does, is it makes things easier. So I have feelings on both sides. I think AI is so hated right now, and for good reason. The reason I think AI is hated as much as it is because AI has stolen so much from artists, and it is taking away artists' jobs. However, if you take the element of making art and all you do is turn it three-dimensional, and it makes it easier, I do not see a problem in that. I think that, yes, it could make it three-dimensional, but there should be a way that you can make the character three-dimensional and still work on that character to where you change it in the backside if you have to. You know, there's just other ways that it could be useful. And I don't want to take away the abilities that it could help us expand. So what are my overall thoughts on AI? I don't really like it, honestly, for the most part. I think that technology should expand in ways, but I also think there should be limits put upon technology. And I think, honestly, art should be pretty much a human thing. It's been around for decades, for ages. It's been around for cavemen, the Egyptians, and it's a way of expression. It shouldn't be streamlined into a computer just because people who can't draw, you know, here you go, put your ideas into a format that steals from other artists. Now, if let's just say artists decided to contribute to this AI and they wanted to give to the AI to teach it, then it's not stealing. And then that, in essence, is different. You can pay artists, it gives artists a job to help train AI. That's a whole nother thing. But I think why a lot of artists don't really like AI, and I think it's for two reasons. One reason is it steals people's art, which is not good. But I think a bigger reason is it replaces artists. And I know a lot of artists don't want to admit that. I think they say, well, you know, it could be a useful tool or it's rationalized in some form or another. But the reality is it does. It replaces an artist. Right now, it may not be quite there. I don't think it's 100% there because it still makes mistakes. It's still, you can tell it's AI, but there may come one day when you can't really tell. When, you know, even now, there's times you can't really tell, but I think if you have the eye for it, you can tell. And honestly, guys, like, I don't think we need to go there. Now, yes, I think it could be useful for 3D. And I'm sorry for saying that if that offends you in some way. But I think that if that's a technology that we could develop, I think a lot of people would have been more open to that kind of technology had it not gone through the process of stealing people's art first. If this was just a new invention that someone had created, I think people would be more open to it. But I have seen artists on Instagram who have put up their art with this 360 view just to take it down because of the scrutiny of other artists. So, well, guys, comment down below. Tell me what y'all think about AI. I really want to hear y'all's comments. And I'm going to be honest, again, I don't use it. If I see a picture that's AI, I typically don't like it. I'm not a huge fan of AI. I have looked at them as references before, but now I don't really use those as references at all. I used to use them back when it was brand new, but now I don't really like it at all. I've just put it aside, and it's just not something I'm all that interested in anymore as a reference. I have stepped away from it, especially since Pinterest has now become primarily AI. I've had to step away from Pinterest. Yeah, it's really sad how Pinterest has evolved, and I really wish there was a platform where you could see references like Pinterest used to be, but without AI. That would be really awesome. I think if you want to get a platform that is not AI, I think that would be Kara. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Kara is mostly just artists. So I don't know if that's particularly a reference area, but if you want to see other art that isn't AI, I think that is a passionate group of artists that just want to be true to art. What do you think about AI? What is it that makes you upset about AI? Are there things that you like about AI? Please comment down below. Tell me what you think. And guys, don't let this discourage you. Don't let AI discourage you. Keep on creating. Because I don't think that even AI can take away the soul that is put into art, the heart and soul, the hours that artists put into it. Because ultimately, wouldn't you rather something handmade than manufactured?